Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about having a Leo Sun and Aquarius Moon in the natal chart. Now, I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. What I'm talking about is having that Sun-Moon combination in the natal chart, having the Leo Sun and Aquarius Moon. Now, first off, the basic character, which is the Sun. In this case, the Sun being in Leo can be very flamboyant, gregarious, extroverted, extravagant, generous, courageous, and attention-seeking. But what's interesting is, on the unconscious side, which is the Moon being in Aquarius is the opposite sign, naturally, of course, of Leo. Can be more progressive, futuristic, even ingenious, unorthodox, detached, selfless, and if this person was born, on a full, the person, if this is actually, let's say if the person's born on a lunar eclipse, and they have this combination, you're talking about very strong, emotional intensification, to say, the absolute least. And the person is born on a full moon, you're talking about, the emotions can be very intensified, not as much as the lunar eclipse, but very amplified and pronounced, to say the absolute least. And the emotions can be, with the Aquarius Moon, can be very erratic and sporadic. And what's interesting, when you have this combination, like many Sun Moon combinations, you have a strong disparity between the Sun and Moon energy. The Sun in Leo is all about garnering, getting them attention and recognition and shining, being lauded and praised for efforts. The Aquarius Moon on conscious level is more unobtrusive and would rather just blend in, with the group. And this combination may manifest in getting the attention, maybe for group related efforts and doing things in an organization, being that consummate team player. And anyway, another way, this combination, or way this combination may manifest, is the person may bring that Leo ferocity and courage and confidence into something Aquarius related, which could include something innovative, could be astrology, astronomy, computers, electronics, meteorology, as some examples. And which, of course, that's associated with Aquarius. And the Leo Sun, the Sun in astrology is about our basic wants. And the Leo Sun wants to shine, get attention, be praised and lauded for their efforts. And the Aquarius Moon, the Moon astrology is about our emotional needs. And the Aquarius Moon, needs friendships, groups, things that are unusual. We could also be, just computer, electronic devices, and the true self, which is the Sun. And in this case, the Sun being in Leo can be very extroverted, extravagant, boastful, confident. And you're talking about the inner self, which is the Moon. The Moon, in this case being an Aquarius, can be altruistic, aloof, selfless, forward-moving. Some examples. The Sun in astrology represents our drive and motivation. So the person, with the Leo Sun may be driven and motivated to dominate. Leo is about domination. Drive and motivation is connected with the Sun. And the person may do so, it could in some cases be using, ingenuity. Maybe it's through it could be just dominating in something group or team related, standing out, for being that consummate team player maybe. It could be also, this could be more adverse, if there's an opposition aspect between the Leo Sun and Aquarius Moon. Let's say an opposition aspect is 180 degrees, and I use a 10-degree orb if at least one personal planet is involved. In this case, naturally, of course, you have two personal planets involved, the sun and the moon. Now, let's say if the Leo sun is at 24 degrees and Aquarius moon is at 26 degrees, that would form an opposition aspect, and it could bring out like the negative characteristics of the Leo sun and Aquarius moon. I mean, you could see a lot of, undisciplined Leo energy and, idiosyncratic, behavior from the Aquarius moon person. You might see a lot of very unpredictable responses and reactions, and the person can have unusual type feelings or emotions that are expressed when you have the Aquarius moon. Um, and the thing is about the sun and the moon. Now, the sun in astrology represents the biological father. So, somebody that has a Leo sun, the biological father may actually be a Leo sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody, those characteristics. Now, somebody with having an Aquarius moon, the moon in astrology represents the mother. So, the mother may actually be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those traits. Now, the Leo sun, remember that the sun and the moon, it's also about the perception of those people that are connected with the sun and the moon. It's about, somebody, the sun in astrology can be, your perception of the biological father. And with the sun being in Leo, the person may perceive the biological father as somebody that's generous, magnanimous, confident, extroverted. At the same time, they see the person as domineering, bombastic, and arrogant. Now, the Aquarius moon, the person may perceive the mother as someone that's ingenious, altruistic, and selfless, but at the same time may perceive the mother as a person that's bizarre or unusual, non-rebellious. So, as some examples. Now, another thing, about this combination of the Leo sun, the sun astrology is about our actions. So the person, when acting on something, may act with a lot of confidence, self-assuredness. It might be with a lot of that Leo ferocity. And when you have the Aquarius moon, the moon is about our responses, our reactions. And the reactions with the Aquarius moon, maybe with more consideration and really or very unpredictable and spontaneous. It's not you have with the Leo sun, the Aquarius moon. What's interesting, again, having that strong disparity between the energies. The Leo sun, again, wanting to be praised and lauded, and getting their attention from others, and Aquarius moon being more unobtrusive and blending in, with groups, and really, this is in the Leo sun, as far as the basic character goes, maybe someone that sees their ideas and what they believe is superior. But the Aquarius moon can modify this, because Aquarius moon and the moon is the unconscious, more unconscious level, may be more progressive and be more open-minded to other people's, viewpoints. This is a very fixed combination, of course, because you have, the sun and the moon both in fixed signs, and this person is somebody that likely, when they make up their mind, that's pretty much it, especially if there's other elements and factors in the chart to confer this. If the person has the majority of their major astrological influences in fixed signs and or a fixed ascendant, this person will likely be very intractable and fixed in their nature. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.